Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Room 510. I am Jax. I wanted to hop back on and talk about mental health. I wanted to give you guys a part two because I felt like the part one didn't go into too much detail and have a backbone of it. It was me just flirting out things. So if you did watch that, thank you very, very much. Go ahead and like. But I want to go ahead and get you guys the part two so I can give you guys more clarification and more details about that basically. So I'm gonna just go in. We were talking about me going to jail and my mental health and things like that. So I'm gonna just start off with the me going to jail portion of it. So being a teenager at that time, we us as teenagers were out doing things we're not supposed to be doing, partying, fighting, whatever the situation is that we're not supposed to be doing it, but we're doing it. So I ended up getting myself into trouble, basically. I'm not going to give too much detail about it, but I ended up getting myself into trouble. And at that time, that is what I needed. That is what I needed to experience. I know that may sound weird, but you guys haven't heard weird yet. Wait till I just wait. But it was something that I needed to experience at that time with the route that I was going and the things that I was doing. It wasn't really helping me for my future. It was just damaging me in my future. So going through that experience actually helped me big, big, big time. So I ended up going to jail. It was county. So if I keep saying jail, that's what it was. It was just county. But I was in Santa Rita there in the Bay Area. Going through that experience was like, it was shocking, I'll say. It was very, very, very shocking because it wasn't like I can do things on my own time type thing. It was always the jail time, the guard time, and things like that. It wasn't my time. So one of the first altercations that I that I got in um, was when I got to my pod. I hopped on the phone trying to see if I can get some money on my books for my family and everything, and and I hopped on the wrong phone. And it is one of those things where the segregation is really, really real in jail. The blacks are over here, the whites, the Mexican, things like that. It is really, really real. But again, it was county. So I hopped on the phone. The guy was like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be on that phone." Woo, woo, woo. So yeah, I made my phone call. So after that, that made him in jail. That's like a bitch. Like that's me calling you a bitch. Like I don't feel like I'm getting off the phone for any. Like I don't need to get off this damn phone. Is what I was thinking. But I made my call, so we had to step to each other. He felt pressed that he needed to step to me because he was making noise with his group. And I didn't think nothing of it, so I made the call, put the phone on the hook. Then I went over there to the blacks, and they was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to fight." And I'm like, "What you talking about?" They was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to fight," because that was like you calling that individual a bitch, basically. And I didn't think nothing of it, honestly, to tell you the truth. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we ended up meeting each other. We ended up getting down and everything. Um, so that was my first experience in jail. A fight over a phone. I never thought that I would fight over a phone. Like I got into fights with my big sister. Obviously I lost those fights, but like over phones. But that's just like a family altercation. But I never thought that I would fight a grown man over a phone. To me, that just doesn't sound right. Um, but it happened, and that's jail. That's just what it is. And I can only imagine prison being worse. Like I didn't go to prison. I just spent my little couple months in county. And after that little altercation, the OG he took me under his wing and was like trying to teach me everything, the ins and outs. And he knew me. He knew me. I was hanging out with his daughter. Like we were just cool. We were friends. No funny business, no nothing. So he knew who I was. He was disappointed that I was in there, honestly, but he knew who I was, and he was like, "Yeah, you can't A, B, and C. You can't, you're not home. You're around men." And I had to get that in my head. I had to get that in my mental that I couldn't just, you know, oh, let me just get on the phone. I couldn't eat when I wanted to eat. I couldn't do nothing really. But use the bathroom when I wanted to use the bathroom and sleep. I realized being in that motherfucker, I've never not been so tired. Like it's ridiculous, like being in that motherfucker because it's not too much you can do in there behind the cells, and it wasn't individual cells either. It was more so pods, and just think of it like a box. You got four corners of a box, and you just put a cross in the middle of it. You got boom, 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 boom. So that's how it was. It was about 20 to 30 maybe in a pod. I really don't know the exact number. It was when I was a teenager. That's why. But I really don't remember the exact number. But yeah, that's just how those were set up. So it wasn't like we were secluded to ourselves and it was just me and my bunkie. It was me and like a bunch of other people. And yeah, just going through that experience, it really opened my mental about it because it turned out to be the best experience, and that's what I was saying. It was gonna be weird. Those words are weird coming out of my mouth, but it was truly the best experience because it taught me like I don't want to do this. I don't. I'm not built for this. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna say it to the world on my podcast. I wasn't built for that shit, and I can't see myself just sitting behind bars and like no, it like no, I just couldn't, and I don't want to get too explicit, but like I love to travel. Like traveling is my thing. It's like my drug. It's like I love to. I every time I'm driving, I thank God because I'm out and I'm breathing and I'm getting to see what's going on in this beautiful world that we got. And it's just like I don't know at what point of my life I started to do that, but it's like you every day I drink water, it's refreshing to me. And I hope that y'all understand what I'm saying. It's not like I've secluded myself and not drunk water forever, but it's just like I'm taking in everything that's being presented to me and I love it. And I love every fucking bit of it. Excuse my language. It's just life. Like we have to go out and we have to live. So I love to travel. Just being caged, I can't do it. I mentally can't do it. So me being caged, even if I technically wasn't caged, but I was still behind sales. I was still behind bars. I couldn't just walk out the door. I couldn't go see my mom. I couldn't go see my sisters. I couldn't go see my brothers. Nothing. Aunties, family, friends, whatever. I couldn't do that. And one thing that really ticked me off when I was in jail is I was in jail around my birthday. So I instantly called my mom and she was explaining like, yeah, they were packed. We couldn't get through. It was my mom, my uncle, and my auntie. They were saying like, yeah, we couldn't get through. We tried. We were up there like I think they came up there like hella early in the morning, maybe 5, 6 in the morning or something like that. It was a while ago, so visiting times are weird, but that was a while ago, so I don't really remember all the details. But they tried to come up there really, really early. And I called my mom and she was like, yeah, we tried. We really, really tried. And we just couldn't get in and come see you. And yeah, but we put money on your books. Go ahead and order you some food and everything. And that was like, that was in May. And I was getting ready to get out in June. Like, I think it was like mid June I was getting out. Um, so I went ahead and ordered. But being in there, around my birthday, missing graduation from high school, like just missing so much, that fucked my head up. That messed me up in so many ways you cannot imagine. Like that messed me up. And like just sitting there, I felt like I was just getting old in there. And I was only in there for a couple months. But I felt like I was getting old in there. I felt like I just couldn't cope with the real world. Like it was just one of those situations that really you don't think it fucks with your mental, but it realistically does fuck with your mental. And that situation really fucked with my mental, honestly, to tell you the truth. And I wasn't happy about that. And I told a story on the last episode about jail, and I'm gonna tell it again and give y'all some more context because this is the whole purpose of the video. Um, so the time that I was getting out, this guy got out a couple weeks before me. Um, and like I said last video, I don't really know why he was in there to begin with, because it was none of my business. But he got out. Everybody was like, "Yeah, bro, don't come back." Blah 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 blah. As I'm walking out, he's walking in, and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck? Like, why are you here?" And I'm getting ready to go. So when I walk out my door, not my door, when I walk out the slider door, to the right, it's a room where we have to sit in order for them to, do the paperwork and get us out and all that other stuff. So I'm sitting in a room, and then the guard come in and grab me and walk me down the hall, and then that's when we cross past me and the other individual. And I'm like, "Bro, why are you here?" And he was like, "Bro, I couldn't stay away from the pussy." What? Why are you here? He was serious. I thought it was some bullshit. He was serious. I couldn't stay away from the pussy, and he was saying it jolly, smiling, the whole 9 yards, just playing. And I'm like, that's not nothing to play with. Like, what happened? And so apparently his girl had a restraining order on him, and he went back to get some. And to me, that was the dumbest shit in the world. Like, like I know, I know. I said we not gonna judge people, but that was stupid. That was dumb. Like, so you'd rather be back in here with a room full of niggas. Excuse me. You'd rather be back in here with a room full of niggas versus being out and free, doing what you were supposed to do and staying away from staying away from that girl. He was like, "I just couldn't stay away from the pussy." I'm like, ain't no way. At that second right there, that second after I was done talking to this kid, I'm like, "Nah, bruh. Take me out of this motherfucker, coach. I don't want to play no more. I don't want to be in this game, coach. Fuck this. This ain't for me, bro. I retire, man. Nah, that shit was not for me, bro. I'm just like, and then just my couple months in there, it was just like everybody was so happy. Like, I laughed, and I'm a human, but everybody was happy. It was a lot of people that was just so fucking happy to be in jail, and I never could wrap my head around that shit. I never could. Just, why are y'all so happy? Like, I understand we gotta live life. I understand we gotta cope. We gotta do, we gotta do what we gotta do to surpass the time and everything. But why are y'all so happy? Like, what is it about this place that's making you guys happy? And then I realized some of these cats was institutionalized. Like, a lot of these people were fighting big cases to go to prison. It was this one OG. He was built, but then I realized, like, a lot of niggas can be bitches in that motherfucker. And excuse my language, but a lot of niggas can be bitches. This is my first time in jail, any capacity. So I'm sitting in the cell with the pod, and this dude is talking because he's trying to dig up. So it's like one of them things, you like, somebody's going to each individual trying to dig up different information and everything about whatever they're trying to figure out. But in this situation, he was trying to figure out prison. He's never been, I'm assuming, I don't know. In that situation, it made it seem like you'd never been to prison. I don't know anything about prison, but hearing the conversation and him asking all the questions to different individuals, but the same questions, like, how is prison, and blah 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 blah, and all this other shit. Like, he was built. The dude was built, and he was older than me. He is older than me. was, but he was built, and I'm like, dude, you can protect yourself. In my head, I'm like, dude, you can protect yourself. But he was just asking questions like, oh, like, how is it, and so on and so forth. Then you got the young niggas that's been in prison, and a lot of them couldn't wait to go to prison. I couldn't wrap my head around it, but essentially, an OG was saying, like, they just want to get this case out the way and then go serve their time, which I respect that. But some of the shit that I was hearing was just like, nah, they need to hurry up so I can go do this. And go. Like, I guess you have much more leeway in prison versus county. I don't know that, so I can't really speak about it. But from what I was told, you have more leeway. So the big guy was asking all these questions and just asking so many questions. And when one of the cats started talking about partying and feasting and eating and drink, what is it, hooch, or I forgot what the shit was called, drinking alcohol and everything. The smile lit up. He was smiling. He was like, "Yeah, I got the, feeling himself." And then when they talking about fighting and all this other shit, he tensed up. I'm like, bro, you can't be that much of a bitch. Like, I never could understand the mental capacity of being in jail. Seriously, I just couldn't. But I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm not the king of knowledge when it comes to things like that. I'm just giving y'all my experience of what I experienced. And yeah, I'm not here to judge nobody. Everybody obviously goes their separate ways after the interaction. So, but let's fast forward to when I got out. That's when the mental capacity it started getting on me. Like my mental started fucking with me big time. Um, Getting out of jail and then being on 5 year probation. So, from what I was told, we get on 5 year probation after our crime or after we are done with the jail time or whatever, because it's a trap, quote unquote. That's what I was told. Um, in my head, I'm like, no, that's a second chance. Like that's a second chance for me to go out and show them, like, hey, I'm not built for this. I don't want this shit. Like, and that's how I took my 5 year probation. My 5 year probation went by like that. And one of my boys that I was with, always, his name's Chana, and I was always with my other boy named Daniel. And I can't forget about the boy Zay. Nah, but I was always with Chana. And after I got out, he came and swooped me, took me to go get a haircut. You feel me? Gave me a couple hundred. Um, he gonna hate me for saying this, but I was the hitter and he was more so the pretty boy. So like he didn't do too much when I wasn't around. But that's still my nigga though. But yeah, he came and swooped me, took me to my cousin, got lined up for free, the whole 9 yards. My cousin wanted to talk to me and was like, what's popping, bro? Like you good? You going back? Shit like that. Cause his little badass was always in and out. But I let him know, like, yeah, that shit wasn't for me, bro. I did my time, but that shit was not for me. On everything I love, that shit was not for me, bro. I couldn't do it. I coped, but I didn't want to cope. I coped because I had to, because I was in that motherfucker. I couldn't just walk outside like leave. I couldn't go out the doors. I had to stay there. But I was telling him, like, all right, yeah, that shit wasn't for me, bro. But got out the first day, and the time that I spent to myself, I realized that I was so tense. Like I was mugging everybody, tense as fuck. Don't know why I'm tense. I'm out. Like what's the problem? Like what's wrong with me? That's when my mental started to kick in and whoop my ass. I realized that I had a lot of pent up anger, a lot of pent up frustration within me, and what did I do? It was something I did. I think I punched a hole in my mom's wall because I was so pissed, and I don't know why. I don't know why I was so pissed. I punched it so hard, I fucked my hand up, and I'm just like, I'm harming myself. Like, what am I doing? And it got to the point where I'm arguing with my mom. Like, I'm taller than my mom, and like I'm in my mom face, not obviously disrespect, like trying to hit my mom, like that's stupid, but like I'm in my mom face yelling at her, like I'm pissed off, like, but I don't know why I'm pissed off. So at that point, that shit woke me up. I was like, nah, this ain't it. My uncle talked to me. He was like, yeah, you fucking up, boy. You fucking up. Like you really, really, really fucking up. And that, obviously that's not all that he said to me. But at that point, I put myself into an anger management class because that shit was just ridiculous. Me and my mom, like, we're twins. Like, that's the homie. That's always gonna be my homie. I love my mom to death. And the strength behind my mom is fucking crazy. Like, I was the worst kid out of four. I don't mean to say it like that, but I was the worst fucking kid out of four. I was the one that's always giving her headaches and shit. And the strength for her to keep loving me over and over and over and over, and I'm just like putting ourselves in myself and then my family in fucked up situations. Me going to jail was putting my family in a fucked up situation because my mom couldn't keep affording for me to call and put money on my books and things like that and all this other stupid shit that I was putting her through. So I enrolled myself in anger management. And it didn't do much for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and have like a Superman story. It didn't do much for me, because it was more so. It wasn't a one-on-one thing. It was more so a group. So I felt like me being in that group didn't really help me out mentally. So I seeked different help, and that me doing that actually, I thrived in that process. Talking to one-on-one, getting my anger out, doing different things on like by myself, because I always used to keep myself cooped up in the house, and mentally it messed me up. And I never was like that until I got out of jail, and I didn't realize that I was doing that. Like I never realized that I was just always doing that. Like I was always in the house, I was always shutting shit down. Like, no, I don't want to go. Like it's cool to be a homebody. I'm not taking that, and I'm not, it's cool to be a homebody. But at the same time, it's the mental aspect behind it. It's really, really hard to explain. Even from me, it's really hard to explain. But that really fucked me up. Me staying in the house, honestly. It's just, it's one of those things where the bricks keep piling up on top of each other, just keep going and keep going. And my wall was so fucking high, and I didn't even realize how high my wall was. It was beyond an obstacle that I never could cross without the proper help. And like I said in my intro video, this is a judge-free zone. So I'm an open book. I'm a try my hardest to tell y'all the truth, but of course I can't put so much out there on YouTube and on all these channels. I can't do that, and I'm not going to do that. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I was a fucked up teenager. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucked up. After I got out of jail, after I did my probation, my 5-year probation. So let me get back to that. So I'm on 5-year probation now. So basically, I couldn't get pulled over. I couldn't get in trouble. Blah 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 blah. The logistics of it. So it started off with me checking in with somebody, letting them know like, yeah, I'm out of jail, so on and so forth. Within that same month, that person was like, yeah, I don't want to see you no more. Like, I know you're not going to do nothing, because just how I carried myself, I'm just like, yeah, I told you I didn't want that lifestyle. So they cut me some slack. Then I had to check into it was like an ATM machine or whatever. It wasn't an ATM machine, but it was built like that. Had to go in, check into that and everything. And it got to the point where they was like, yeah, we're going to take you off the shit. And that was within the first month. So when people were telling me in jail that the 5-year probation is a trap, I swear to God, I never took it like that. I'm just like, nah, this is another opportunity for me to clear myself, clear my name. Like, I told y'all, like, I didn't want that shit no more. Like, I didn't want it. Like, it wasn't for me. Like, I just couldn't see myself in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, no. And I didn't want to be another black dude that wasn't doing shit with his life. That was just, like, not doing anything, But, yeah, like, I couldn't do that. I really couldn't do that. So getting off of that 5-year probation, my boy China, like, throughout the process, I will say, he made sure I was good. As far as, like, if anything, like, so for example, let me give you an example. So when I got out, the week I got out, we went to where did we go? I think it was a huge party or something. And he's driving, and then the girl he's dating at the time was driving with all her friends. And I'm in his car. So those were like my sisters. You know how we are at that age. Those are my sisters. Those were my sisters. um Play sisters. Let's clarify that. But so we're leaving. We're getting ready to go to Denny's and everything. Excuse me. We're getting ready to go to Denny's, and what happened? It was we drove past the gas station coming across the train tracks. It was a lot of people at that gas station, like, for no fucking reason. It was over there by the Oakland Coliseum too. A lot of people at that gas station. Something was bound to happen, but it ended up happening as we were driving by. So boom, 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 shots ringing. So we drive. The ladies are behind us. We drive across. Um, their car hit. I don't know what it's called. The train thing that comes down, the big metal thing that holds the crossing thing, whatever it's called. Um, they drove into that and their car flipped on the side. So we thought they got hit instantly. Like we thought they got hit. He pulled over quick. We all ran to the car. I was the hothead. I'm not gonna give y'all too much, but again, I'm the hothead. Just keep that in your. I'm not like that no more. But I was the hothead, so I'm instantly thinking like, fuck, one of them got hit. Like, how did they car flip? Um, and then our boy is in the back, Daniel. He was like, no, somebody hit him. Like, ran into the car after the gunfights, the gunshots. I'm the hothead, so we run over there. I'm getting ready to let him ring. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm getting ready to let him ring. But at that time, he was like, "Get your ass in the car. You and you. I'm still on probation. Get your ass in the car." That gave me a different perspective about him. How he was looking out for me. He was like, "Get your ass in the car. We gon' That's when. That's after the fact. We found out all of them were cool. Nothing happened. Nobody got harmed. Everybody was cool. We got them all out the car. We had to pile up. My boy had a sedan, man. It was like nine of us. We had to pile up in that motherfucker. But yeah, we got everybody in the car. Got everybody out the car. He was like, go get in the car. You know, yeah, go get in the car. Um, and after he said that gave me a whole different perspective of him. Like we're still bros to this day, all four of us. China, Zay, Daniel, we're still cool. That gave me a different perspective about China though. He was never the troublemaker. I was always a troublemaker. Daniel was he was somewhat of a troublemaker, but I was always the one. But that gave me a different perspective about him at that point in time. So yeah, that happened, and we ended up dropping everybody off, but everybody was like, "Yeah, I still want to go to Denny's," so we ended up going to Denny's. But having people like that also helped my mental. Even to this day, my boy Daniel, we still check on each other. We ain't hung out like in a while, obviously, because we're adults and we gotta do what we gotta do. But we still chat with each other. You good? You good? You feel me? Like checking in. You straight? You straight? I even check in with my boy Zay because he the barber. You good? You straight? Every time I sit in this chair, we chop it up. We talk. That's just how we are as guys. We don't need to be on the phone 24/7, but we know where to find each other when we need each other. Is what I'm getting at. But having those type of people actually helped me with my mental. And don't get me wrong, like they would point out like I'm changing, like and like what's going on with you and so on and so forth, and they would actually help me and point me out like, yeah, bro, you're not the same, like something's wrong, things like that. So even after the one-on-one therapy sessions with my anger management and different things like that, I started to shine more. And what I mean by shine, I started smiling a lot, even like I'm doing now for no fucking reason. I started smiling a lot. Just life made sense in a sort. Um, Life made sense as far as all of this hostility that I'm holding or was holding at the time is gone. Like I'm not gonna say like zeroed out. I'm saying like I'm healing. There you go. I'm healing in this process. And excuse me. I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna cut that out. I apologize. But I'm healing and I'm getting better, and it just felt so fucking good. And I I feel like us as black men, we don't really talk about our feelings a lot. It has to be one of those situations where we're getting ready to lose somebody or we're getting ready to lose our girl or something, and it's so stupid. I hate to say that. I hate to say it. It's not all black men. I'm not gonna sit here and be like that's all black men. Majority of us are. Majority of us are like that, and I hate the fact that we are like that. Um, Expressing ourselves because we are so. we have this notion of the man, like strength, strong, just you, the protector, the whole 9 yards. We don't we don't really have a place if our ladies aren't asking us how you feeling, what's going on, how can I help, how can I be of assistance, things like that. We feel like we don't have a place to go, and that's not true. Um, that is 100% not true. We do have places to go, but us holding everything in is making it seem like that place to go, that person to talk to is invisible. It's just not there. Our mental capacity, and I keep saying let me apologize about that. I don't know a lot of people in this world. I don't know a lot of men in this world, but um, it's just that notion. Even on social media, everybody talks about it on social media. We have some great women out there that's like, do you guys check on your men? Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do, things like that? And I don't know their relationships. I don't know that person's relationship. I just read comments and I just read statuses and things like that. And going into things like that, it's just like, I feel like us as black men, and I'm talking to my black men out there, we are stronger than, man, we are strong as fuck. We are passionate. We do have feelings. I'm not, like, who doesn't have feelings? You feel me? But it's somebody out there that you can reach out to talk to. Even if it's me, let's go grab something to eat. Let's go hang out. Let's go chat. We can chat on the podcast. You feel me? Like we have to take that initiative and that step to better ourselves. Because I growing up, I used to depend on like my past relationships to like as my therapist, if that makes sense. I used to console my lady that much in my past relationships, like growing up, teenager, and so on and so forth. Um, I used to run to them like they're my therapist, and it's never a situation. It was never a situation where it was like, okay, let me sit down, let me talk to you, let me actually talk to you. It was always a situation where it's like it start off good, like what can I do to help you, and then it disappears after that because I couldn't open up. And growing up and going through my notions of mental health and getting better and bettering myself as a man, I realized that I used to do that. I used to go console and confine, not console, sorry, confine in my lady. But don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not getting the reaction that you think you deserve or you want or you need or whatever, reach out to somebody. Instead of, because I used to ball everything up. I wish I could see my hands. I'm getting ready to do the Kamea. Nah, let me stop. I used to ball everything up and just keep it inside. And not knowing how to talk to somebody was always my flaw. Me being so straightforward, it come off as douchey at times. It come off like this nigga don't care. But that's not the case. I do care because I'm talking to you about it. But I have to learn how to talk to people, and I'm still learning that. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning that. That's one of my biggest flaws is not knowing how to talk. And so, for example, I would say what's on my mind, but I say it wrong. So I would talk at someone and not talk to someone, if that makes sense. And that's something that I'm still working on. Even to this day, I still talk to my therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, do I need to make it known? No, I don't need to make it known. But in this situation, I do because I want to bring awareness to everyone, definitely our black men. I want to bring awareness to our kings, honestly. Because without somebody bringing that awareness to me, damn boy, where the fuck would I be at? I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I don't even know. Like I don't know where I would be at, and it's big because you always see somebody unaliving themselves, and you can see people spilling and asking for help, but they just won't say the 4-letter word. Um, but you can see it. Like you can look at somebody and this person needs someone that's gonna be there. Like it's not the hardest thing to lower our walls. This is for every human on the earth. It doesn't matter how much money you got, how much you flexing on social, or how broke you are, or whatever. God, we are humans. Like we are humans. God put us here. We are humans. We all feel, we all cry, we all are emotional, we all are sensitive, we're humans. That's just our nature. It doesn't matter if you put it out there in the world on social. Oh man, I am never crying and blah 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 blah. You are going to cry behind that fucking door. Let's just be real. Nobody has to be there, but you're going to do it, and that's just what it is. And we are emotional human beings, and that's just how it is. But it's always somebody out there that needs a little bit of assistance. Even if it's you asking that person, hey, are you okay? Do you want to chat for a couple minutes? How can I help? Even if it's here, call this hotline. Do this, do that, do this, do that. It's always something. Mental health is not a joke. It's too much going on in this world for anybody to be struggling with mental health. We have all the options at our fingertips. Even if it's online, we're on our phone 24 fucking 7. That's a lot. We're on our phone 24/7. Even when we're in bed, we're on our phones. I just want somebody to reach out. Just that's my goal with this episode. I really want one person to reach out to retrieve some help. You don't have to tell nobody about it. It can be between you and God. Nobody has to know. But it's out there for you is my point. It's out there. Again, like I'm gonna say, I am not obligated. I'm sorry. I'm not qualified to tell you what the hell to do. All I can do is hope. I'm qualified to bring you guys knowledge about what's going on. But I'm not qualified to tell you what the hell to do. Just reach out to somebody. Even if it's in my comments. Just say, hey, let's chat. You got something you want to get off your chest. Let's chat. I'm here for it. I will listen. I'm not going to judge. If I have the information to pass along to you, I will pass it along. Simple as that. Or I can reach out to somebody that can pass it along. The help is out there. We just got to put our hands out there to retrieve it. We got to open our arms to retrieve that help. So I hope with this episode, that's my goal. That's my goal. I want at least one person to hop in the comments and say thank you. That's it. Say you liked it. Thank you. With this mental health channel, it's going to be a lot. Y'all going to see me at my lowest points. Y'all going to see me at my highest points. I'm going to break down. I'm probably not going to break down, but I don't know. But I do want to be open with you guys, most definitely. Probably bring a couple family members on here just to pick their brains. And, you know, I will start, when I post these videos, I will start reaching out to people trying to, you know, schedule something. Let's get something going. Like, we all doing this. We all trying to work. We all trying to make it. Let's get this going. Let's put this out there for the world to see. Because it might be something simple within that video, this video, the past video I post that you guys click to. It's all about finding that niche. It could be one word that I said that you guys just are attracted to. And like I stated, I just want to be able to spread the word and I want to help. Mental health is no joke, you guys. It's a real big deal. We are losing too many brilliant people over this. Even just on social media, just seeing things on social media is a real big deal. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. I know it's a little bit longer than I than I wanted it to be. I apologize about that, but I get lost in the sauce, man. Like, as y'all see, I'm passionate about it, and I like to talk, and I get lost in the sauce, and I apologize for that. But again, I hope you guys do enjoy your days. You know, enjoy. Enjoy the day. Have fun. Smile. Brighten somebody else's day. I'm hungry. So I'm probably gonna go get something to eat. I'm horrible at outros, y'all, so just cut me some slack. But until then, I'm Jax. Thank you for tuning in to Room 510, where we talk everything up under the sun: sports, travel, mental health, black-owned businesses, the whole 9 yards. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, follow, subscribe. Uh, let's get it going. I know I am. I'm horrible with outros, but this is my outro. But we're gonna enjoy this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all have a good day.